ready to have your mind blown by the secrets of Washington, D.C. Beyond the monuments and museums lies a city packed with unbelievable stories and hidden quirks. Forget the textbook version. We read diving deep into 20 fascinating facts that will make you see the nation's capital in a whole new light. Let's get started. First up, D.C. wasn't the original capital. Before settling on the Potomac, the U.S. Capitol was a bit of a nomad, setting up shop in cities like Philadelphia, New York City, and even Trenton, New Jersey. It moved a total of 9 times. Number 2. Ever notice how DC has no skyscrapers? That S. Thanks to the height of buildings. Act of 1899. The law essentially states that no building can be taller than the width of the street it S on, plus 20 feet. It's not about the Capitol Dome, but it definitely preserves those iconic monument views. 3. Washington, D.C. is a city of spies. Seriously, the International Spy Museum is one of its most popular attractions, and for good reason. It's estimated that more spies live in the D.C. metro area than in any other city in the world. Makes you look at your morning coffee line a little differently, doesn't it? Fact number 4. The Library of Congress is gigantic. It's the largest library in the world, holding more than 170 million items on about 838 miles of bookshelves. If you were to walk the length of all those shelves, you'd be walking from DC all the way to Chicago. Number 5 is a bit spooky. Did you know there's a cat that supposedly haunts the Capitol building? Legend says the demon cat appears before national tragedies or presidential election changes. It's been reportedly seen before the assassinations of Lincoln and Kennedy. At number 6, we have the Washington Monument. It has 2 different colors because construction was halted for over 20 years due to the Civil War and a lack of funds. When work resumed, they had to use stone from a different quarry, resulting in a visible color difference about 150 feet up. Fact 7. DC residents couldn't vote for president until 1961. The 23rd Amendment to the Constitution finally gave citizens of the district the right to vote in presidential elections. They get 3 electoral votes, the same as the least populous states. Number 8 is for the foodies. Ben's Chili Bowl is a DC institution. This legendary spot has served its famous chili dogs to everyone from presidents to celebrities since 1958, when riots broke out after Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. Ben's was one of the few places allowed to stay open past curfew. 9. The city was designed by a French-born architect named Pierre-Charles L'Enfant. His grand vision of broad avenues and open spaces was initially considered ambitious, and he was dismissed from the project. But today, his brilliant layout is what makes DC so unique and recognizable. Halfway there, at number 10. The White House wasn't always called the White House. It was originally known as the President's Palace or President's House. The name White House became official under President Theodore Roosevelt in 1901, inspired by its white painted stone exterior. Fact 11. There are underground tunnels connecting the Capitol building to the congressional office buildings. Senators and representatives use a small, private subway system to get 2 votes quickly without having to go outside. It's like a secret train for lawmakers. Number 12. Darth Vader is watching you from the Washington National Cathedral. No, really, high up on the Northwest Tower, there's a grotesque of the famous Star Wars villain. It was the winning design in a children's competition back in the 1980s. You'll need binoculars to see him. At 13, let's talk about cherry blossoms. These iconic trees were a gift of friendship from the mayor of Tokyo in 1912. Over 3,000 trees were sent to the city, and their blooming every spring is now one of DC's most celebrated events, drawing over 1 million visitors. Fact 14. The Lincoln Memorial has a typo. Well, sort of, in his second inaugural address, carved into the north wall. The letter E in the word future was mistakenly carved as an F at first. It was quickly filled in, but if you look closely, you can still spot the patch job. 15. DC has a state bird, flower, and tree. even though it's not a state. The official bird is the wood thrush, the flower is the American beauty rose, and the tree is the scarlet oak. It's all part of the city's ongoing identity and its push for statehood. Fact 16. The steps on the east side of the U.S. Capitol building, where presidential inaugurations traditionally took place, are also a famous movie location. You might recognize them as the Exorcist steps from the classic horror film, though the actual steps from the movie are located in Georgetown. A little bit of Hollywood meets history. 17. The Smithsonian Institution is not just one museum. It's a massive complex of 19 museums, galleries, gardens, and the National Zoo. The best part, admission to all of them is completely free. It's the world's largest museum and research complex. Number 18 is a sweet one. The official dessert of Washington, D.C. is the cherry pie. This was decided in 2006, paying homage to the legendary story of George Washington and the cherry tree, as well as the city's famous cherry blossoms. 19. The reflecting pool, that iconic body of water between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument, holds about 6.75 million gallons of water, but it's surprisingly shallow, only about 18 inches deep at its center. And finally, fact number 20. Underneath the Capitol building is an empty crypt that was originally intended to be the final resting place for George Washington. However, in his will, Washington specified that he wanted to be buried at his home in Mount Vernon, Virginia. So, the crypt remains empty to this day, a silent monument to the nation's first president. And there you have it. 20 surprising facts about Washington, D.C. that go way beyond what you see on a postcard. Which fact did you find the most interesting? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through the Capitol's hidden history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing facts. Thanks for watching.